Hello and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto TA Charts live stream with me, No FOMO Charts. Today is Sunday, August 14th, 2022. It's almost 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello, welcome from YouTube. Welcome TradingView. Let's get started. Today I'm going to start with crypto first because the stock futures market is not open yet. I'm trying a different time. So let's start with crypto. Looking at total market cap first. And what do we notice here? Well, to be honest, to be frank, we're still in this daily uptrend of crypto. However, on the shorter term time frames, if we look at maybe a 15-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, we can see we did pull back down to our 200 EMA area. Let's look at a 1 hour. It's a little cleaner. It's still in the uptrend. Now this triple bottom, this double bottom area, it did really break out. Very nice rally in the markets. But it went almost double the target, almost. At least 1-to-1 with the target. So in terms of the crypto rally that we're having right now, or the attempted rally, until support is lost, until the trend is lost, it's still in this 1 hour uptrend. So it's just tightening. If we zoom in very, very close, we can see the 5-minute, 15 charts. It is pulling back on very, very short-term time frames. The Asia market session has not opened yet. So it's kind of a quiet time right now in the making of this video. But we can find out from the charts that we did double top right at about 1.17 trillion on total market cap, a little bit of bearish divergence, bearish momentum on this 1 hour, and that's why we're pulling back. But at the making of this video, are we really oversold for trading? We are not. So where could those levels be? It could be at 1.1 trillion, it could be 1.0, somewhere over here, 1.07, 1.08 area, right? So this is sometimes this is the problem with trading, is when you open up your charts or your phone or your exchange, is there a real chart setup for whatever style of trading or investing that you are trying to do, or that we are trying to do? So for my particular, the general setup is it really low value right now? Not really on this 1 hour. 5-minute, yes, you could see it. It is low oversold. A little bit of momentum on the 5-minute for crypto on this little bounce. You could get a little bounce, 0.5%. 15 minutes, it's definitely building, but it's not exactly out of the woods yet. We would have to see a little higher low before it attempted rally. The 4 hour just got rejected at the resistance. Again, the daily, this is what I was saying last week, is it's starting to lose momentum. It doesn't mean that we're crashing to zero. It just means this weight of the scales is slowly tipping in favor of potential bear pullbacks, even in the stock market, which we'll look at later. But it explains why all of a sudden we have this red candle, right? Rejected from the resistance of the 100 EMA, pulling back. Can we go higher? We could, but we need to establish the higher low support, wherever that's going to be. Weekly, again, this is still building and it's still in progress right now. We don't have a huge bearish reversal candle yet, like we did back in March 28. That's not showing up on the charts yet. Not really showing up on the charts yet. Right? So it really depends on what somebody's time frame and style is. So to wrap up total, let's go ahead and get the resistance and support levels, and we'll just move on. So that's kind of our foundational TA for today for the crypto world. So resistance, where is it? 1.176 trillion, and that corresponds with the left side resistance for now. Until we break through, it's a resistance. Support on the downside, 1.11. Big numbers, 1.08, 1.031 trillion. So our pivot's way down here on the day chart. So there's some room to move around. The resistance, 0.2 basically. But you can see this little leg up. Sometimes I hope it's not going to turn into this leg up back here in March. That's the problem. That's the issue right now that I'm seeing on the charts is we have similar price action to March, but then we do not have the same catalyst. Meaning that in March 2022, the past, what is it, 5 months ago, we had Russia-Ukraine war. We had war. And we had supply chain problems, another wave of COVID in China. That's why inflation fears were very high. So that's why the market crashed here for stocks and crypto. But then where we stand right now is, do we have the exact same problem and do we have the exact same mentality, psychology? My observation with talking with people, especially this weekend and this month, is there's less fear. People have kind of priced in inflation into their lives, like meaning people kind of accepted it as reality. COVID guidelines are loosening a little bit in the USA in terms of social distancing and quarantining time. And we had this green rally in stocks and crypto. So unless we have some, 1 or 2 weeks of absolutely horrendous negative earnings, which is probably not going to happen exactly like that, I'm hoping that this is actually real. Meaning that if we can hold this higher low, if we can establish a pivot point and then a higher low and never go back down below 955 or 827 billion, establish that support and then maintain an uptrend, it could be the start of the crypto reversal to the upside if that happens. I was telling some colleagues of mine, if we pull back, we could pull back up to halfway to like a 950 billion before we attempt another rally, or we could double bottom, try to retest 833 as such, or a worst case scenario is we lose all supports and we continue a massive downtrend. Then I would not buy. Okay, and it's going to take some time. This is a swing trading and investing live stream. So it's not going to take 5 minutes. It's not going to take 2 minutes. It's going to take time. It usually takes about a month, 1 to 2 months for, right? This down leg took 62 days to complete. So, that's a very investing style mentality. Okay, let's hop over to Bitcoin. If anybody has any questions or requests, go ahead and let me know in the live chat, YouTube, TradingView, and Twitch. It's kind of a more relaxed live stream today, although the stock portion will get a little bit more serious with earnings. But move along here. Let's do Bitcoin. Our Bitcoin, it's actually a little bit similar because Bitcoin is a huge part of the total market cap index. But still, we need to chart it to get accurate numbers. It's not exactly 100% the same. Let me actually use Bitcoin futures. I use Bitcoin futures. Slightly different chart because we didn't do it last time. So on Bitcoin futures, you can actually see the gap down resistance to the top. So that would be an immediate target, 27,400 for any 27,400, 28,865 area. Still trying to maintain an uptrend. Here it's getting a little tight. Let's look at for our 1 hour. So the thing with Bitcoin USD, the actual cryptocurrency, is it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. So we're already getting that pullback. On the futures, we're not seeing the pullback yet. So it's gonna if we keep crashing, it'll gap down. Sometimes we can get some clues, right? This price formation, it's almost looking a little bit like August, a little bit like July, and a little bit like early July, right? Because if this, our most recent price action, pulls back, definitely heading down to probably about $23,000 support. And again, as long as we maintain this trend line and our shorter term time frames, we're okay. We're okay. Even though we had a deep market crash this year, as long as we do not lose this upstairs pattern, we're fine. As soon as we lose the upstairs pattern, however, if this starts establishing a lower high, we test it, we can't break through above it anymore, then it's downtrend risk. Then it's yellow light, red light. For the past month, it's been green light in terms of if someone's trying to trade, just try to buy those dips with manageable risk. All right, let's pop over to the weekly chart. So again, I just want to remind people that we do have a double MACD histogram bullish momentum. And we did have the lowest RSI in 4 years. So even I bought some crypto in this zone, right, just to see, well, are we going to get this large bounce? Sometimes rally takes 154 days. But the COVID rally took how long? 1 year, basically. So if it's going to take 6 months to 1 year, it's only been 2 months, right? So that's why, as long as we never go below 18,000 on Bitcoin or $20,000 again on Bitcoin, we should be okay. We should be okay, unless some extreme bearish negative catalyst happens. Like if there's another war or something like that, that would be really bad as an investor. We are starting to lose a little bit of momentum, however, on the day chart, right? You could see it here on the green histogram. It's starting to fade down a little bit. So which means on our hourly 4-hour time frame, right? You can sort of see it here. If you read the MACD and the RSI, start to lose a little bit of that momentum. The hourly on this futures chart and the 15 minutes still trying to stay intact. So again, the resistance is we haven't broken above 25,000 Bitcoin yet. So you just need to watch out for that. Okay, we have a request here, AAVE. Let's do AAVE. Again, if anybody has any requests or question regarding trading viewer charts, feel free to ask today. Okay, AAVE. Using the Binance chart. First thing is on our day chart, are we in an uptrend or are we on a downtrend? The investing long term for 1 year trend is still downtrend. And we can confirm that by drawing a trend line on the top. This is why we're stopping here. The price like right now. We can also draw a support trend line. We just drew the resistance trend line. Now we establish a new point, right? So it's been stuck in this wedge for about a year now. We had this nice rally in terms of the blue circle. That was very Bitcoin correlated rally. And how was it discoverable? It was downtrending until we created the higher low support. This is what I'm saying Bitcoin needs to do. We just had this rally in Bitcoin. If it pulls back, that's fine. As long as we stay above the lowest low, there's a shot that we can keep going higher. So AAVE is let's look at it two ways. If this is our resistance and Bitcoin is not going higher, then this could be a definite stopping point for the trade. It could definitely shoot up, just poke out like we see here in April. Could poke out. Of course, it could poke out. Crypto can always do that. But we can see that relative, is it in the relative low zone or is it in the relative high zone for swing trading? It's in relative high zone. It's at some kind of resistance point for swing trading, right? In terms of trend line. Okay, if we're only looking at price, right? The 200 EMA could go to 127, definitely. All right, if you're an investor, well, again, there is that momentum here, and I have to pull up a Fibonacci here. We did a deep retrace, very, very deep. It was 90% off in June 13, right? It's 107% off its low. Beautiful trade. But that kind of low setup, it's kind of already bounced up and it's in progress right now. If we flip over to a 4-hour, it's still in the 4-hour uptrend. So it's not likely to crash down to $50 in one day. So it's most likely going to retest one of these two supports just below it, 102, probably $100 as well, 95. It's already at 106. So these 15-minute, the 5-minute, 15-minute, the 5-minute is definitely looking like a little bullish oversold setup. For a little day trade, if someone's trying to do a scalp, if somebody's trying to do a little 15-minute trade, there's a little bit of double bottom here, the resistance above a 107 and 108. But the problem is, again, if Bitcoin starts dumping at 2 p.m. Or 5 p.m. or 9 p.m., right? Or 2 a.m., which is the Australian Open, the Asia Open, or European Open, there could be a problem, right? This could just dump. So we're just looking at a snapshot in time right now. So some of these shorter term, to sum it up, looks like it's getting into some oversold zone in terms of 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, H1. 4 hours not there yet. And the daily is definitely close to a resistance point. It isn't an uptrend, however. So, I don't want to get people too bearish. It isn't an uptrend. It's just, is it going to stop here or not? It looks like it could on the short term. Day traders might try to push it up one more time. And then just in the next 24, 48 hours, if it happens, and if it tops out, just kind of watch out for if this happens again in April, May. If someone's trying to hold it for like a month or two, because if it pops up, it's great. But if it loses momentum and starts pulling back deep, then AAVE is in trouble. So hopefully that makes sense. Multiple scenarios. All right, welcome. We'll do GLA USDT. I'll just use Coinbase. All right, Coinbase. So GLA USDT did pull back quite a bit from its ICO high here on Coinbase. It bottomed out at negative 95% off at about approximately 5 cents, July 27, right here on this pink vertical line. So that's good. And established a double bottom in the support area just above 5 cents. Very good. Now, the issue is how high can it go if crypto is going to go up, right? This is like a hidden MACD. It's already had its bounce and it's kind of in progress on the way up. Investing, this chart doesn't really help that much on a weekly, but the daily chart, support or resistance, right? Let's pretend on a bullish scenario, if it's going to keep uptrending, let's say if everything uptrends, Bitcoin and all the coins, where's the resistance? Right here, 0.8 cents. Just pull the Fibonacci for this, make it easier. $0.13 would be a beautiful retrace. That would be 100% more profit. It might take a while to get there though. The 4 hour is golden up cross, just about 11 days ago. So let's not take that lightly. Sometimes when altcoins golden cross up on the EMA, it could go like 200% or depending on the volatility, right? We'll look at Shiba Inu because something suspicious going on there on that chart. Right, Dogecoin already had the bounce as well. But GALA, still in an hourly uptrend. It depends on your goals as a trader. But it's almost, it was stuck in a little bit of this channel, and that's why it broke out in terms of the double bottom. So let's measure that. 33% to the upside. 8%, so 8 cents. If it goes 66%, where are we? About 10 cents would be nice, right? Somewhere here or here. So let's not underestimate the power of the EMA crosses. The daily has not actually up crossed, but 4 hour, 1 hour, 15-minute is still there. It really depends on Bitcoin. Most people don't realize that altcoins, all this moves, it's instigated, it started by a Bitcoin rally. And then altcoins will just move because of bots algorithms. And then if there's big enough percentage gains, then traders jump in on it. Unless you're like a altcoin, mega day trader. But if we look at relative high versus low, well, yes, I mean, of course, when there's a crash, there was the double bottom RSI low. So I'd be a little bit careful. It depends on someone's holding time, but if this happens to pull back, like let's say I just buy it right now randomly at 7 cents. If this thing pulls back on me, where can it go? Where can it go? It can go down to 6.5, 6.3, or 6 itself, right? It hasn't dumped for a while, and if we look at the RSI, it hasn't really dumped until Bitcoin is a big pullback. So that's just something to watch out for. If we got to see the longer term high low, it might try to do a high one more time before going low. Right? But just buying randomly right now is a little bit risky because the 15-minute RSI is just smack in the middle. It's about 53. It's not really low, but it's not really extremely high either. It's kind of in the middle. And we're just playing trend. High, low, high, low, high. Okay, higher, low. Can we bounce one more time? Is it possible to do it one more time? 7 cents, right? So hopefully that makes sense for you, because if it does, if it's a short-term time frame, you could just play oscillators, right? Investing, just got to give it some time. And then it's all about the coin selection. Hopefully that makes sense. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's look at some of the major cryptos as well. Before, and if you have a request, just let me know. We have to take a look at Ethereum and Binance. It is down 42 this percentage, but again, we're looking at basically pre-market Monday Asia session. So it's not, this data that we're looking at, it's not the exact data of like a volatile market open. Somebody has a question on TradingView. Is it good to make short? Well, first, are you talking about GLA or are you talking about just in general? Because shorting, if somebody's shorting stocks or if somebody's using leverage, is very dangerous because your losses can be compounded. Right? Let me just use a blank area. Your losses can be compounded. So if somebody's on 2-to-1 leverage or something like that, depending on if you're doing crypto or stocks, like I do stocks shorting, and if somebody has a loss and you're trying to get a negative 2% stop loss, but you're on leverage, it could actually be double the losses or triple the losses or 4 times the losses. So that's why you never really hear me encouraging shorting or leverage, especially leverage trading, because leverage trading can blow up and destroy somebody's account very, very quickly. So it depends. It sounds like you're trying to trade, right? So all I'm going to say is the general quote of longs want to buy low and sell high generally for whatever you're doing, right? Buy low, sell high. And then shorting is the reverse in general. You want to sell high and buy low to close, right? And then watching out for any news and anything that we can't predict, like, what's the government going to release for news tomorrow? Nobody really knows yet. So, or if are we going to do another war? Is like nobody knows, right? Is inflation going to go down into 1 week? Nobody knows. Or 1 month? Nobody knows yet. So the problem is what's in our control is the setup and the money management and emotional control, and it takes practice. But if we're looking at this chart, is all I would say is if you're trying to short anything, is it really the highest high right now on a 5 minute? Not really. Just visually, the price, not really. What's a better high? Here, when it was really high on the RSI, here, when it was really high on the RSI. If we look at here, it's in the middle. That's what I'm saying. Watch out for that. Thank you. All right, let's look at Ethereum. Oh, actually, we have a Forex YouTube request. Let's do Euro USD. Euro USD. So Euro USD is obviously volatile right now with what's going on, especially what happened since the Russia-Ukraine war started, and then COVID to add it, and then you add on politics, government changes, and stock earnings and volatility in stocks. I mean, that's just a lot of catalysts, right? So let's start with the very, very long-term view. We're on FXCM Euro USD on a weekly chart. We get our swing trading, our investing Fibonacci for a support. I was trying to say support. So we could see the resistance trend line, very, very powerful. That's why we double topped there and then rejected down from that resistance. Now there's kind of this hidden trend line somewhere in here. It depends, right? We don't want to make a fake one, but this one generally still works, right? Because it actually works. It went up, broke through, hit the bottom, and then found support, and then we've been stuck in here. So it's still downtrending. The thing with Euro USD. I know people like to day trade this, but on the weekly, however, there is some bullish momentum. It could take 2 years for this thing to recover, for Euro USD, for the euro to recover. But I'm just going to point it out here, is it will be safer. Yes, it's down, it's coming down here into the support zone. But what I would probably recommend for people to look out for is more of the support level being established, right? Because we never want to catch a falling knife. Nobody knows if this is the real bottom, so to speak, right? Is this one level of dollar parity? Is that the bottom, or are we going to try to retest that a couple times? So that's why. The only thing that changes it for me is, okay, on the weekly, it's getting this low RSI with MACD bullish momentum. The 2015 setup was better because you had a double bottom and then you had a huge MACD and then it stagnated sideways and then you got a big pop up. So even on shorter time frames, that's what I'm saying, is if it starts pulling back, it might not be over. So we want to see at least some signs of stopping, which hasn't happened on the Euro USD for investing yet. Just like Bitcoin, we do have a little bit of a bounce on a day chart. However, it is still stuck in relative resistance. Right? If I draw multiple resistance line, it's right at the resistance ceiling roof. So until we break out, retest, there's not an uptrend yet on a day, unfortunately, on the day chart. So the more we move in, though, you might be able to get a scalping setup or something. So on the 4 hour, we did just reject down from this 103 level. The 1 hour is still in the uptrend. The 4 hour is in a little baby uptrend, a little mini uptrend. It's almost like Bitcoin. So kind of the same thing, similar issues arise with Bitcoin, except with the Euro USD, there's more government politics, corporate, institutional issues, and breaking news involved. The 1 hour, it's not extremely oversold yet, so I'm not excited about this as a bullish setup yet. Trying to wait because it's so volatile. I would like to see more setups like July 25. We have very low RSI. August 3rd. And then what time is that happening? It's happening at the USA market time as well, 6:30 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. This particular low happened on the Europe session and the American session. So 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. So, because the market's not open right now, that's what I'm anticipating. If it keeps going down, it would be an interesting little long down here, maybe at 102, even 101 area, 101.3. It depends on how many pips somebody's trying to target. But we can see the support level on the trend line is definitely at the 102.2, 101.9 zone. And the short-term 5-minute is downtrending. The 15-minute is not oversold. Looking at this chart, even 5-minute is not extremely oversold. It's still downtrending, so it's definitely possible. The two scenarios to close it out for trading is if we have the higher low and we establish a breakout, great. That means it's bullish for 5-minute 15 setups. But if this EMA serves as the resistance, then you can see another leg down, and then we might double bottom somewhere down here, and then a long setup might be possible. Then all the stars will align, so to speak, with the indicators. And that could be, it could actually happen somewhere over here in the European session, somewhere over here, or in the American session. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's take a quick look at DXY because we're talking about Forex right now. And I've been seeing some comments about the dollar currency index. Great. And again, I read a great quote from Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan. There's an article on, I think it's CNBC. And he was basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he was basically saying that it's good, it's not the greatest forecast if I make a single point forecast, meaning that if I just say, oh, the price is going to go exactly to only this one spot right here, 95,669, $95.67, because it's like there's way more potential, there's way more potential scenarios that can happen in between there, right? So just to have like one single call saying it's going down exactly to here is, it's definitely possible, but the way the world is right now, he gave us, Jamie Dimon on his article, he gave us like 5 scenarios or 4 scenarios with a percentage chance of likelihood estimate. So that's probably a better way to think about things. Not a better, but it's a more flexible way of thinking about charts and trading and investing right now. So that's what you see me talking about. I usually, on my stream at least, I give multiple scenarios of, okay, if it goes down, it might go down to here, but if it goes up, if it's big down, big red, or small red, or if it's small green or big green, right? Because that makes more sense for a day trader or for a swing trader. And it helps you get prepared as well. Just a little side note. I thought that was a good advice from the CEO of JP Morgan Chase Bank here in America. Okay, moving on to DXY, the US dollar currency index. I'll take a quick break, need some water. Okay, so now we're back. DXY, this is the US dollar currency index, the index here. And so it has been in an uptrend for about a year. Right? This kind of has inverse correlation with the stock market. So just a good lesson for even myself too, to keep a closer eye on the DXY, because once the DXY double bottom, that's basically November, September. So right when we got the EMA golden up cross, that's basically when the stock market crashed, started to crash right here. So there's a definite inverse correlation with the DXY and the S&P 500. And then even with Bitcoin, there's some kind of inverse relationship, right? Or there's a relationship at least. So somebody could say this upside down head and shoulders, neckline breakout, and the stocks crashed until now. So the issue is, we do have a little bit of a down cross on the DXY. We're trying to get a little forecast going on here. The weekly, however, this is why I'm a little concerned is, wait a second, if the DXY has bearish momentum right now on the weekly, which it definitely does, which means that it could pull back. If the inverse correlation is true, if DXY comes down, then that should mean the stock market should attempt to keep going up. It should try to keep going up. So we'll see if it's going to happen or not. It would be very interesting at this point in time if we're actually starting a new bull market. Because I was talking with one of my colleagues again this weekend. It would be interesting if we're starting a new bull market right now, and then basically buying crypto or stocks right now or in the past month would have been a perfect time. It's going to be very, very interesting year. So just want to point that out. At least on the weekly, the DXY could pull back. How far? Well, the support level 103.81, 102, 197, and $96 on the way down. There's many support levels on the way down. It's not likely just to go straight down. It took 1.5 years to get up to this point, but it's almost like a US oil trade, where it just got too high on the charts. It's starting to cool off. You get one little red tick. It's barely visible on the charts, but that could be the start of the downtrend on the DXY, which could mean the stock market might rally. Let me check something on one of my terminals here before we move on. Check the euro USD. Doing a comparison right now. Let me see. Okay. So in terms of this chart, it's more correlated with the stock market. So something like 60% chance approximately with the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ. On crypto, it's only in the past 30 days, it's only about like a 30% correlation with crypto. So it might not have a deep relation with crypto. But let me just check the euro because somebody just asked for that. Wow. So with the euro USD in the past 30 days, there was a 90% correlation, inverse correlation. There was a 90% inverse correlation in the past 30 days. So again, this is just, off the cuff. This is not, 100% fact. This is a quick calculation depending on just quick calculation. So off the cuff, rough. So that would mean that if the DXY pulls back, the euro USD might actually rally. Stocks and the euro could rally. So just watching out for that. But then how long is it going to take? Well, it could take like 2 years. So, that's what I'm saying. It's a very, very, very long-term perspective. But, we was talking with some friends. So if somebody buys Tesla's going to stock split on August 24th here in America, 3-to-1 stock split. Let's take a look at Tesla. Thank you so much for following. Let me do some shout outs. Thank you, AK, Mast, and Zifa. Appreciate it. Thank you for the follow here on TradingView. Streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. Right now, I'm at Discord, so if you want to go ahead and follow me on any of those platforms, really appreciate it. Let's talk to my friend. Tesla, $900. They're a 3-to-1 stock split. So in a couple of weeks, August 24, 25, Tesla could be approximately $300. So if it's gearing up, right? Apple is $172. We'll get into this. Amazon, $143. Amazon used to be like $2,250 1 year ago, 2 years ago. Google, stock split $121, used to be $1,000 plus. Netflix, $250, right? And now Tesla is finally going to drop down to that under sub $500 range, sub $400 range. It's good. The split is here on the charts. August 25. So let's talk about Tesla. I might start moving into a little bit of stocks. We'll do some crypto. I'll do Tesla and Shibu. If you have a request, please just let me know. I know we're jumping around, but it's still fun. Tesla. We had the nice rally. We had the symmetrical triangle. Right, 25%. Did we go 25%? On candle, almost. Basically, yes. So I remember last stream, I was talking about. Oh, great, cool. All right, thank you for the follow on TradingView, YouTube, and appreciate it. So let's see. I was saying, somebody asked me, okay, is it a good time to buy Tesla? It depends on somebody's time frame. I think the person was asking me about a 1-day day trade, so I did correctly call that out. I think it was August 7th right here, right? Saying that we could pull back on it. And it did happen, right? But if somebody's trying to buy, let's say somebody buys Tesla tomorrow morning at around $900. Well, in that case, to me, it's at some kind of relative high. I call this in my system like yellow zone, meaning green zone was down here. Green zone was down here like 600, 633, 650 when we had market crash. And then all the oscillator technicals was down here. This is a bull setup. This is a bull setup right here, right? You have the double bottom, you have the open MACD, you have the bullish momentum on the RSI, or if someone's trying to get this exact spot, there's a bullish MACD and then low purple RSI. The only problem is at that time, there was a lot of fear in the market, but Warren Buffett sometimes says to buy the fear. And then that was rewarded, 45% profit. But what I'm concerned about is we have EV stock. We have some EV stocks, but we have this week in stocks is retail earnings. So it's just like Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, etc. Those types of Kohl's, if you're in the USA. The thing is with Tesla is, well, the last time we went 45%, that we did pull back. But again, this Russia-Ukraine war, so it's Jamie Dimon made another point in his article. He was saying, okay, well, what other catalysts, either good or bad, are out there in the world that maybe I'm not thinking about yet that could become a problem in the next 3 months as an investor or trader? So obviously COVID could get worse, even though the chart I looked at, I think we could look at the COVID charts, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it. The worldwide COVID infections did actually go down a little bit in August. So it's kind of interesting, even on COVID charts. We'll look at it maybe on the stream. So, okay, well, there's that. But then now I think the potential threat could be the China-Taiwan tensions. And in the stock market on Friday, I think I saw the article about five major Chinese companies, firms, or companies said they were leaving Wall Street. And the article said that's $300 billion of equity that's leaving America. They're exiting America because of what happened with China, Taiwan, and USA. Political visits. So that could be actually a problem for investing in the future. Or if the China Taiwan thing gets out of control, that could be a major problem because a lot of electronics and chip suppliers, factories, it's in Taiwan or it's in China. So it made it more complicated for technology companies, NVIDIA, AMD, for example, Taiwan Semiconductor, um, even Apple is having had some issues, even though Apple's been a massive bull run. So that's just some things to think about aside from the usual government politics. Thank you for the follow, Malizini. Appreciate it. Thank you. Right? So just something to think about. All right, I'll speed up a little bit. So the weekly, this we did have this MACD. That's why there's also for investing, there's that double triple bottom 633, and we bounced up. So the issue that I'm watching out for is do we have a lower high? Is this our lower high in Tesla? It's not quite evident yet. I would like to see like um, uh, even though this is kind of a hanging man, a little more bearish confirmation, like a little lower high before we know, oh, we're going down. Okay. Or if it's going to keep breaking out, it's fine. It's the market that happens. So until we golden up cross, it's not over yet. We are holding above our 200 EMA. So that's our definite line in the sand. Now everyone's holding that 832 number. 832. Okay. And then in terms of the setup, this could definitely rally one more time because it looks like actually almost like upside down head and shoulders on an hourly. It could rally one more time, and then that would bring our double top in the RSI before we get the pullback. It's debatable though. It's debatable, right? Because the 4 hour is still up cross. That's what I'm saying. Let's not underestimate. Let's not underestimate this. Because when's the last time we had this golden up cross? March, and then last year's incredible rally, right? So sometimes this little golden up cross is a sign of an uptrend sometimes, right? It's not 100%, but it's just a general signal. Opposite is true. When we have a down cross, sometimes you get negative catalyst and you get deep down cross, downtrend. So on Tesla, that's why Tesla bulls, they're trying to hold on so hard. Here's that upside down head and shoulders I'm talking about. I spotted on the daily. 5%. If it goes, let's measure that. 5%. So if it goes 5 to 10%, that's 925, 925, or 969, like 1,000 area, right? You can kind of see the bulls are trying so hard to keep this thing alive. High, low, high, low. Can we make one more higher high? At the 4 hour does have MACD. The 1 hour, not quite super oversold, but that's okay. As long as the price action keeps maintaining an upstairs pattern. Higher high, higher low. It's trying to go higher high. So the problem is on market close, it was 15-minute oversold on the top side. So tomorrow on Monday in the morning, we could get a quick pullback or a deep pullback in the midday, right? This is what I'm saying is Friday, why did we go up? Well, we had some earnings and we had some, last week was phenomenal green week in the stock market. But, right, if you look at the chart very closely on a 5-minute and just study it, Tesla did dump in the morning. Day traders shorted this thing hard. But then we double bottom, and then we got the oversold setup with the bullish MACD momentum, higher low, stair step pattern to the upside, and then now we're here. So in terms of overnight trading, the European session definitely looks like it could pull back in the Asia session as well. Definitely the European session. So it could pull back down, get this, and then try to create the exact same setup in bulls to try to attempt one more time. So that's the day trading setup. I don't try to call it too much because sometimes when I'm looking on a Sunday, it's not pre-market data for me. This is basically Friday's data. So it's old. So it's better to make an analysis at 6 a.m. or 9 a.m. 30 minutes to 1 hour before the market opens. So you get some real data. You get some real actionable data. So hopefully that helps on Tesla. Again, we're trying to generally buy low and sell high in trading for longs. Generally buy low and sell high. So even if we don't understand all these indicators, which is okay if you're starting out, is it relatively low or is it relatively high is what I always ask myself at this point in time. And it depends how long am I going to hold it for. If I long now, there's significantly more risk, 15%, 10% more risk than if I long this breakout setup, triangle, breakout, or if I long the bottom of the fear low. The fear low, sometimes you get the bottom. If you're a trader, sometimes you just happen to trade the bottom and it's phenomenal. Some stocks, it's just reality. There's too many stocks, right? You can't have them all. So some stocks you miss, some stocks goes too high, some stocks goes too fast, right? Just whatever we're able to capture in our daily lives, in our lives. Okay, I said I'd go back to SHIB because I did see some analysis on Shiba Inu. Now, why are people talking about it? Is the bottoming formation. This is already day traders already caught on to this way long ago, right? I'll do like a crypto quick analysis. So basically, what are people talking about? Upside down head and shoulders, bottoming pattern. This could be great. It's already in progress. It's already up 1 times the target, 40%, 50%, almost 50%. Let's get some accuracy here. 57% from the breakout. If this goes 57% from the breakout, that's 186.5. Let's say if this thing goes 100% or 110%, that's 2630. It did bottom out in terms of the weekly. Again, look at this. This what I'm saying is huge MACD momentum. It was huge, very large MACD momentum on a weekly investment with a little almost RSI low dip, and SHIB was how many percent off? Almost 90% off. DOGE already had its rally as well. The problem is okay, the daily we're getting into this overbought region, 4 hour as well, 1 hour bearish MACD. So now it's turning into, okay, if someone's going to try to chase this, watch out for FOMO. Watch out for FOMO. Because if something goes straight up in crypto, and keep in mind it's crypto, so things can always just go wild. But if it's normal crypto trading and something goes straight up, at some point it should pull back down. And then as a day trader, that's the entry. If I didn't get the low, let's say I didn't buy it at 724, right? There's always some kind of pullback usually in general. So even right now, it's 4 hour overbought region. It's too high right now relative. So in the next 24, 48, 72 hours, this thing should pull back to some general level. And if it's a true rally, then the old saying of buy the dips applies, right? There is a chance that maybe this thing is only going to go 1 times the target. So multiple scenarios. What if this is the end? Okay, then I don't want to buy here as a trader. If I'm trying to do a quick day trader or a swing trade, like 1 day, right, it could pull back. But if it's 15 minutes, where's the next oversold or where's the next support level? 1 hour, 4 hour is a little too high for my eyes. Where do I want to buy? Maybe earliest 1552, 1483, or 1400, like reasonable levels. Okay. And then you want to see, right? You can see high, low, it's upstairs pattern, and then a deep pullback. That's what I'm saying. The no FOMO mentality is if something's mooning, be careful not to accidentally buy highs on a long, because then somebody can get crushed, right? And watch out for that. So high, low, high, low, high, low, right? Where's the next support level? If this is pulls back down, then maybe like 1454 because that's 618 level. Watch out for it. The hourly is on the high side, losing bearish momentum. So we could get a pullback on that. That's all I'm saying. And then the next oversold level could be a decent entry. There was like a 2-minute setup here, but that's too fast. Just watch out for it. If it happens to go double the target, there could still be quite a significant amount of gains to be had in Shiba Inu. So just keep an eye on it if somebody really wants to trade it. Because this thing moves fast. When SHIB moves, it moves. And the trade could be over in 1 week or 2 weeks. It's only been a couple of days. It's actually only been 1 day. Just watch out for it. Like I said, if this thing's really, if it's going to moon, let's say 50 to 100%, then buying a reasonable dip with a reasonable stop loss, for example. So let's bring up the ATR to figure that out. ATR. Well, now, because there's so much volatility, it's 59, right? So on the hourly, so 59, about 4%, right? That's pretty volatile compared to stocks. So 4%, let's just round it up for safety, 5%. So 5 to 10%. So where would the 4 to 5% pullback be? 1548, right at that gray line, the support level. You want to watch out for that. And again, if you to make it easier, is you actually want to see some momentum on like a MACD or something, right? And then you see the breakout happen. Because if I buy when there's bearish momentum, like right here, and it's fading down on high RSI, this thing's gonna pull back. Then on a 5-minute or short-term time frame, you'll bottom out. Then the MACD will start building up again, and this is happening at 6:30 in the morning. So algos and robots are programmed to trade at that time. You get that MACD momentum pop up for a quick trade. So it depends on somebody's goals, but 15% in a couple hours is amazing. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Rich Boy. And Akram, appreciate that. And Darvis, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay, Juan, we have a Ethereum. Let's do Ethereum. So we did cover this one, but it's good to do it again. So Ethereum on the weekly, it's seeking its investing lower high right now. There is a very large MACD histogram on the weekly that could play out if it's going to start a new uptrend. But even if it does start a new uptrend, we can definitely pull back to Ethereum even down to 1200 and then still survive that. So, it's not all over with crypto yet. These long-term charts could take 1 to 2 years to play out, but that's where you get the hundreds of percent or something on cryptos. The daily, however, it's reaching that overbought range. There's a little bit of bearish momentum. It's rejecting down from the 200 EMA zone right now, about 2100. So just want to kind of watch out for that. If Bitcoin and crypto start pulling back, the small baby altcoins, like I like to call it the mini altcoins, like the penny coins, they'll just go volatile on their own if there's a setup. But I'm talking if the big boys, the big kings, like a crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, those are a little bit more correlated, and because there's big money playing those. Like hedge funds play Bitcoin, etc. So in the 4 hour for swing trading, it's still in the uptrend, so it's okay. As long as we maintain the uptrend, yes, we're going to get pullbacks down, but as long as we maintain this upstairs pattern, it's okay for Ethereum. Now, if somebody's trying to trade it, however, it's well, all right, where can somebody make their entry? If somebody wants a very higher chance scenario, we want to try to get these low purple RSI oversold zones, the buy low, sell high. It just shorted down. We had a double top under 4 hour. That's why we're pulling back right now. Markets are starting to open a little bit in a couple hours. So it's still uptrending towards the high zone, the 1 hour. This to me looks, it's not a real setup, right, yet for bulls, because it's just the intraday pullback. Because I like these types of setups better, where you have a deep pullback on the price, double bottom, MACD histogram pointing up, bullish, and then you have a RSI momentum that's pointing up as well, and that's where you see big money coming in and buying that, and that's happening. This was the European session, I think on Thursday. And then in the American session, you had continuation, right? So this is Europeans and Americans playing this right here. I like these setups more. If you just look at this setup right here, it's like, well, maybe at this point in time, you could get one more rally. If we get MACD histogram momentum, that's not showing up yet. So you have to watch out for that if you're really trying to play it as a swing. 15 minutes starting to show, but it's in this little down cross. If somebody's trying to do it, it's definitely possible we could bounce, right? The deeper you go, it's definitely possible, but the gains will be smaller on a 5-minute 15. So if somebody's trying to play this, where's the stop loss? 1%, a minimum stop loss, 1900, 2% if it happens, about 1966, and managing capital and risk like that. If we want even more accuracy, bring up the ATR. Where's my ATR? 644. It's about 0.5%. So yes, 1% for a day trade, 2% gain, 1% stop loss, 2% gain. So keep in mind, it's still in a downtrend on the 5-minute. So just watch out for that. The daily and 4 hour, it's not extremely oversold. So again, if stocks pull back, let's do these multiple scenarios just for everybody watching. If stocks pull back and crypto pulls back down, it's okay to pull back as long as we never lose our lowest lows of June and July. This applies to both stocks and crypto and altcoins and Bitcoin as well. As long as we don't lose this June-July low, we can pull back all the way back down to retest it and then try to either consolidate sideways or bounce back up, or just pull back halfway and then keep going up. It's totally normal in crypto. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so we hit the hour mark. Let me do like a quick, let's keep going down in crypto, but let's do a quick comparison. Let me start from the top to the bottom. I like to do this sometimes just to give my eyes, just to see if there's anything hidden anywhere. Just quick. I'll do a 4 hour for swing traders. It's more normal. All right. So here we go. Bitcoin 4 hour up cross. Very nice. Holding that 50 EMA. Oops. What's going on? Oh, this is an old watch list. All right, Bitcoin. Still holding our short-term EMAs. Not quite oversold yet. A little bit of resistance at the upper 25,000 range. Ethereum hit 2,000 psychological and is pulling back down. Still in the 4 hour up cross on the EMAs. Binance coin hit the resistance at 331. So I know in my idea I did say it's there, there's a short, etc. That's building, but I'm talking about it could be 4%, and it's possible it did actually short almost 4% once we hit the top though. So I should have been a little bit more clear about that in my idea. So I'll note that for the future. But Binance coin, I remember it saying Binance coin could bounce, and we hit this channel, and it did uptrend into a head and shoulders that I'm seeing here on a 4 hour. So watch out for that if this thing is real. This thing's real head and shoulders. It could be like a 6%. If it comes down 6%, $300 is the target. Okay, we have a request, AMCR. Looks like a stock. The New York Stock Exchange. AMCR has earnings on August 17th in the PM. Okay, it's a packaging company. Let's just take a quick look here. Market cap 19 billion, $1.5 billion, 1.5 billion shares float. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this company, AMCR, on the weekly. From top to bottom, it looks like it's trying to hit it's still stuck under the weekly higher low. If we just look at 2022, it had a rally pullback, but we still got stuck under this right here, $13 range. And it's trying to maintain a little bounce. But with earnings happening in 3 days, you know, the fundamentals are going to rule this stock, meaning if it has good earnings, you might get a little pop up. If it has bad earnings, of any reason, you could have go sideways. I'll look at the history. If it has bad earnings, definitely it could go down. It could go sideways as well. So that I'm not going to try to predict. But in terms of the general targets, it's definitely possible. So for now, we're in this little bit of a symmetrical triangle equilibrium. And it looks like, let me just check something here. So AMCR, the stock, is not really correlated with any of the major indexes itself in the past 30 days. That's not that significant. So it's just going to kind of go on its own with the earnings. It isn't a daily up cross, but in terms of trying to long it right now, it's not really at the support level. It's closer to the resistance level. So I'm going to talk, my perspective is, I like to wait after earnings. I don't play things before earnings because I have no idea what's happening with the financials, right? Nobody really knows. We can have a guess though. Like an easier one this year was like Chevron. Okay, that one is a little bit more predictable because gas prices are high. People had to pay forced to pay for a high inflated gas price, and therefore, you know, Chevron, ExxonMobil made a lot, billions of dollars. So that type of stuff is a little bit predictable, but unless you really know this industry or this company, it could be a little bit challenging. So I personally never try to predict earnings myself. I just wait till after and then make a decision based upon that data. So in terms of long or shorting, it's not really in a super oversold position, right? This is, again, I like these setups when you have a deep pullback and then you get some kind of double bottom or a little higher low, or right on this 236 support level. That's very predictable with open MACD bullish and a low purple RSI. I mean, there's like a high chance it's going up long. That's why. That was great until now. It's about 10% or 12%, 8%, right? So am I seeing that exact setup? Copy paste that setup right now at this moment in time? I'm not seeing that. That's why for me, I'm a little bit more conservative with my setups, because if I just, not for this stock, but just for any asset, if I just keep buying, if I'm too aggressive in the market, I lose, right? So I try to wait for my setup to show up. If you're a swing trader, it's not quite oversold. So the only scenario, the two scenarios that's a little bit more likely, it looks like, is just the earnings breakout or the earnings dump. So let's look at the ATR. How much does this stock move on a day? About 28 cents, average 28 cents. It's about 2%, 2 to 4%. So if it pulls back on bad earnings, our support level is 1227 down here. And that would make sense. Trying to buy this lower support trend line, the yellow line, is a little bit safer. buying breakouts can sometimes fail. Like this breakout failed right here on this particular day, and so did this one. That's why it's a little bit more dangerous. And if it goes 2 to 4% to the upside, $13, 13.33 could be a problem in terms of the resistance breakout. So just watch out for these two levels. So hopefully that makes sense. You know, I just try to call out what I see on the charts. Thank you for that request. Interesting stock, interesting company. All right, let's take a look at Solana. So Solana, in its uptrend, they did have that outage failure or something like that, but this doesn't look that powerful to my eyes. It almost looks like bots trading, algorithmic trading. It's almost too perfect, right? This low, every single time somebody's gonna buy the dip. Okay, everyone's in bull mode. Everybody's in bull mode. Great. Thank you for the request. It was fun. Glad it's helping. And the resistance up here, everybody's shorting this thing. Everybody's shorting this thing. Right? The double top and pullback. So again, you can see it in the market. The algorithms, the big billion-dollar, million-dollar hedge funds, they're moving in tandem. They're playing whatever setup they're doing, strategies they're doing. And it's very evident in the market. So even with Solana, would I long right here in the middle of the channel? Probably not. I want to long more on the bottom side, just like everybody else did 7 times. Now the 8th time, is that going to be the real one? That sometimes can be fake. We have to see as a swing trader. So just pointing that out. The like $40 range. How long does that take? Could take a week to get down there. Okay, Cardano, with a little bit of this channel breakout with the 4-hour, but still kind of on the high side. Relative high side with like one more, just a little bit deeper pullback. See, sometimes Cardano can pull back like 10%. We only pull back like 4%, so it's not really all the way down. 53 cents could be a nice entry spot. XRP kind of stagnating sideways. Not quite an uptrend. And the RSI confirms that as well. AVAX still in its uptrend. Still in its uptrend. And but finding a resistance point at about $30. Not quite oversold either. DOT is still in the 4-hour uptrend. Not quite oversold either at this point in time. DOGE and SHIB have their nice, erase this. DOGE and SHIB have their nice rally. The pop up, very correlated. Could be correlated with the Tesla stock split news. I mean, it's just something about that. People get excited. Under our 0.88 retrace, I remember telling people for multiple weeks, Dogecoin is 90% off. It was. Still 88% off, right? It could go either way at this point because it's not really quite super oversold low. The weekly does look nice, but the 4-hour, a lot of cryptos are in this overbought region. Could we moon still? Yes, I've seen cryptos nonstop moon and nobody cares about the RSI. So this is the setup that people are playing. The 4-hour, basically ascending triangle breakout. So the big target is 50% to the upside. Big target. Where's that? 1132, 11 cents. Small medium target, about 30%. Still good. We didn't really hit that yet. So the Dogecoin rally might be like halfway in terms of swing trading. So it's a matter of the retest. Sometimes what happens, you have a breakout, retest of 7730, and then try to break out one more time. So I would still watch Dogecoin. Just try to buy as low as possible if somebody's going to do this. SHIB we already talked about, but you see SHIB and DOGE very similar. Matic had this breakout. We are talking about that setup a long time ago. So a lot of ascending triangles. Potential continuation. Trying to retest that support level, but not quite super oversold. 1 hour is not even that oversold either. So, you know, we could see some significant pullbacks before another breakout attempt to the upside. Atom kind of resistance at this 12 range. And last time I did mark the potential zones of support, and it did literally bounce off the 987 level and was up 15 to 20%. So crypto analysis and TA charts, it works. It's just a matter of risk and timing, trade management, because the problem is when people start off is that without some kind of strategy or system, it's almost random. And then random trading is usually 95% failure. So just that statistic. That's why you never hear me like pushing too many times. And if I have a losing trade, it's no problem because it's probably managed risk and just move on. Right? So no problem there. It's just for hyperactive traders, like hyperactive day traders, you try to trade like 20 times a day. Unless they have a winning strategy, there's a high chance of failure or loss. So that's why you never really hear me push that on people. Okay. I might do the next MFIN request like later. We've been trying to do this crypto watch list for like 20 minutes. So we need to get through this. So just watch out for that resistance. The big target's up here at 1350. Near, beautiful breakout. I remember somebody requested this for me. That's why I drew this wedge. We had a breakout. So here, this is a good educational setup. Breakout, a retest, almost a double top, but then higher low established rally. And then we had an upside down head and shoulders. So there's a lot of patterns out there that if somebody knows what it is and willing to take the risk, there are potential gains to be had in the market. And then now we have the 4-hour cross, but there's some bearish momentum that's where we're fading to the downside. So it almost feels like the whole market wants to pull back down. Litecoin, same deal. Litecoin's not that popular, but it's near the resistance zone at the top. That's where we're getting the pullback. So that's why even for me, I still have to remember and discipline my mind to say I need to buy low. If I'm trying to long anything for day trading, swing trading, or even investing, I need to buy low as possible and then sell it high at the top side relative. So Litecoin looking more interested in the upper $58, $59 range. Uni still in this uptrend right here. Still in this uptrend. But it looks like Uni might actually lose the support of 862. Very interesting. High, low, and then all of a sudden it stagnated sideways. So the support level is like 816 area, resistance like 970 or like $11. Just want to watch out for that. Because sometimes when it's really obvious and it's very extended, it ends up just failing. So watch out in case that happens. Link USD. Oh, okay. This is where we drew basically a 2-channel range. I should have extended it for the future. But now we actually hit that range. So Chainlink is actually consolidating with the price. And so it's hitting that relative resistance spot right now. It is in the uptrend 4-hour, but hit that relative resistance spot with fading momentum. We can see that pull back down. Tron not really moving that much. It's going sideways. Haven't heard that much about Tron in many, many years. So fading out of popularity. Even on the investing charts, it's not that great looking. It's just symmetrical triangle to the side. So it's either going to go plus or minus 50 to 100%. So on a 4-hour, there's not quite a setup there yet. A little faster. Bitcoin Cash. Tightening range, equilibrium in a symmetrical triangle to the side. Could be about 15% move, 5 to 15% move incoming on Bitcoin Cash over time. Still the 4 hours up crossed. Nice. But if I'm very disciplined, it's not quite my setup yet. I need to see it. It needs to do something in terms of if it's going to pull back deep, I need this thing to come down lower. And then I could buy it, or at least retest the 133 range, the bottom side of that price move. Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic. So, this is kind of like my general, this is like what generally most people do with technical analysis. It's just I'm focusing on swing trading on the 4-hour time frame using certain indicators. And the problem with trading is actually human emotions and human psychology. So for example, having biases in the market, or if somebody like has a bad day at work or school, or just a bad day for whatever, or you're somebody sick, and then they come onto the charts and then try to do analysis, it's clouded. The judgment is clouded, right? Or if there's tons of fear on the news and you're watching that all day long, and then you come up to the charts, you already have a negative bias, or a trader would probably have a negative bias. So for me, I like looking on the weekends, no news yet, and I just do a step-by-step process that I've honed over many years, and that's just how I do it. I do use some scanners and such on TradingView, but for the most part, you could just do it visually. Set alerts. If you have Pro Premium account, you can set alerts like Ethereum Classic. This low, if you could set an alert on the RSI. So, or you could set it on the MACD, or you could set it on the price, or you could set it on the EMA, which is a little harder, but you could set your alerts. Like for example, if I was saying, look at this chart, and which I did, I could say, oh, if it hits the 0.88 right here at $25, I'm gonna set an alert that I want to know that price is gonna get there. And it would have fired off like 20 times for me right here, right? Did people know it was gonna rally and go down? Nobody really predicted that until we lost the high here. But I'm saying setting alerts is totally fine, totally possible. We could see using TA, price support and resistance, there was a zone here that if somebody drew this line exactly and then turned into alert, which you could turn a horizontal line into alert. If you right click it, that's exactly where we stopped. That's the exact bottom of the market. So technical analysis works if we're focusing a lot on price. If I'm only focusing on one indicator, that's where the danger kind of comes in to play. But somebody could have double bottomed here perfectly for somebody's setup. It was 200% profit. So that's why I spent time. I spent time on the charts. And I'm sure other people are too. I just want to point out though, before we move on to answer a question, is this day we do have bearish momentum. So watch out for this one. It's already starting. The 15-minute 1 hour is already oversold. So want to watch out for that. Very interesting question. Akram asked, when I'm day trading, what is my mindset when looking for a trade? Could you let me know? Are you talking about crypto or stocks? Because it's different. Like my process is different for both. But I was having a conversation with my colleague. Day trading is different than swing trading. Because swing trading, you're giving yourself room for the stock or the asset to move. Right? Like if pretend this is my trade, if I'm a swing trader, I'm allowing this price to move around a lot, like 5% or 10%, and then it ended up going 200%. That's beautiful, right? On a day trade, the stop loss is much smaller. It's like 1% or 2%. Yes, but actually the setups I've been talking about in terms of this low RSI setup, that tends to work for day trading, but day trading is very difficult. If you want to get good at day trading, then you should probably open a paper trade. You could do it here. You could try it here in TradingView, the paper trading. I would highly recommend that. So instead of losing money on 95% of day trades, just paper trade with the same amount or like 10 times the capital just for practice, or the same amount of capital that you have long or short in the morning, 9 to 9:30 a.m. Or if you don't have time, maybe like try to just like trade the close, which is like lunchtime. I don't know where you might be in Europe, but if you're in USA, like if the market closes at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, some people might be able to trade like during their lunch hour, just like practice. Somebody could practice or even attempt to trade, even though that's a really strange time to do it. But it's definitely practice. You could definitely practice. Oh, okay. You're in Europe. Okay. Europe zone. So, okay. The London session. But definitely, I would highly recommend paper trading because you could paper trade USD. You could paper trade almost anything USD based on TradingView with ease. So you could do Bitcoin USD, all the crypto USDs. You could paper trade those, day trade, swing trade, practice stocks. You could practice paper trading on market open hours only. So you could probably even do London stocks as well and just practice. What am I looking for? Just the lowest low. Look for the price. Yeah, you have to understand. So the thing is I can't give too much information because some of just to be frank, it's proprietary research and strategy. So I can't like just tell it. But if you study enough books and if you study enough price, um, I would highly recommend mastering price patterns. For day trading, price works, so like price trend. And this is very valuable information. Like, some people pay like $1,000 to get this kind of like just general advice. Is right because if you look at, let's say, let me bring up like what's a good example? Let's bring up like Amazon. I like Amazon as a better example. Oh no, we go back to PayPal. Okay, so let's take PayPal for example. We're on a daily chart right now, right? Just turn everything off. And the skills like a technical analyst needs, and to answer a quick question on trading, do I look at fundamentals? Yes, I look at fundamentals. I look at fundamentals sometimes here on TradingView too. If you just scroll down here on the right side of like a stock, you could see some of the basic fundamentals, volume, market cap, earnings per share, shares float. There's more data here, but I like to open up the financial panel sometimes and just look at it. Your income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. I like to look at this stuff. I don't drill down extremely into it, but you could get a quick snapshot. Like if you see this company's like revenue is going up, it's good. But at the same time, right, it's not the whole story. Because if you're like 100% financial person, or what I learned is But then what is the price chart telling me, right? What is the technical chart telling me? This thing's going down. Yeah, so for stocks, you kind of need to understand both. But for me, I'm a chart trader. I mean, chart analyst. I'm like 80, 90%. I'm 80% technical analysis, like 10% news and 10% fundamentals in general. But when earnings happens, I'm like half half. I look at the fundamentals just on my own time. I read reports. I look at the financials on multiple like data sources. But if I had to just make a quick decision, I could just look at the price chart and know what's going on. So so for Akram, to answer your question, is um, I would recommend trying to master price patterns and price trends first. And you have a lot of tools, you have a lot of charts. Um, Even if you have a free account, it is definitely possible. I think you can still paper trade with the free account. I think you can. So what I'm talking about is if this is a stock and you could just ignore the name, this could be Bitcoin, this could be Euro USD, this could be S&P 500, this could be Tesla, this could be Apple, this could be Ethereum. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just saying the actual price movement, the price trend is, let me mark it. 2020, where's 2021? 2021, 2022. And then I'm just going to mark like today, right? So these 4 zones, just to break it in chunks. Let me just do 3 zones to make it easy. And let me turn off the earnings labels to make it even super easy. Here's my settings. So now it's super easy. If we just break it up in chunks, let's start with 2020. And this is educational, right? So we had the coronavirus crash. The government fiscal stimulus saved us. USA government, Federal Reserve saved us in April 2020, and then we rallied. Big time rally. For how long? 1.5 years. What was the trend, though? Was it going up? Was it going sideways? Or is the price going down? If somebody understands this, even as a beginner, intermediate, advanced level, especially beginner, this is something that probably somebody needs to study a lot of on a lot of assets just to like master it. What I used to do is open a chart, spend time and be like, what's going on here? What is happening here in the price chart? And instead of talking about it, I like to draw it. Like I said, it was uptrend, sideways consolidation, downtrend. And then what are we in right now? We're in a short-term uptrend. Short-term, right? It hasn't actually, PayPal has not really folded over and fallen down yet. It hasn't happened yet. There's signs of it that it could happen because the last time we rallied and topped out and then we had a negative catalyst and it pulled back down. So same thing, is we rallied, is it going to top out? Question mark. Everyone's wondering that. And then is it going to pull back down to the downside? Right? So it's the same process if you're trying to day trade, if you're trying to swing trade, or if you're trying to invest. The question is, what is the trend? That for price is incredibly important. It might be one of the most important questions a trader or analyst can ask themselves, what is the trend? Is it going up? Is it going sideways consolidation, or is it downtrending? But in general, the market likes to move up or down. So to make it easier, it's either up, down, or sideways. That's the first question when you open any chart and give it a lot of time data, right? That's the first thing you got to ask. It's not what does Reddit say, what does Twitter say, what does CNBC or what does Bloomberg News say, what does the internet say? I set that aside. When I look at a price chart, I'm thinking, what is the price doing? Up, sideways, or down trend. So that's how you could get ahead of a lot of other people, because most people in the world, nobody's thinking about this unless you're a technical analyst, right? Or like an economist. So same thing. Now let's flip over. Take this exact example that I put up on the screen about price trend. You flip over to Bitcoin and then immediately execute. Same thing. So 2020, somewhere here, right? 2020, 2021, 2022, and then now, right? Ignore, and then just in your mind, just set all the biases, everything we know about the news and the psychology. I'm setting that aside in my mind right now. All I'm focused on, all I care about is the price on this chart, on a day chart, 1 to 2 years on this. What's happening? 2020, we crashed. Corona, fiscal stimulus saved it. Massive uptrend. Then we had a topping out. So it was uptrend. Then here in 2021, it was sideways. And then what happened? Downtrend. And then uptrend, then downtrend, right? You can get really into it. But then in terms of the big moves, right? It's uptrend, it went sideways, and it went downtrend. And now we're in the downtrend again, right? On an investing time frame. If you drill down and you zoom in and say, okay, this is a mini uptrend. It's a daily uptrend, hourly, 4-hour uptrend for swing traders, okay? So that's how you can get around it. And if you're like a day trader, you zoom in all the way. I'm zooming a 5-minute. I'm looking at like 2 days of data of Bitcoin. You do the same thing. What's happening? Went from downtrend to sideways consolidation to an uptrend to a very brief consolidation. Or it's not even consolidation. It's like double top. Downtrend, and this is consolidation. Sideways into an uptrend, into a downtrend, right? It's like that, being able to identify just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 nonstop on charts. And anything you're looking at, any time frame you're looking at, that's one of the pillar foundations of technical analysis. And how good you are at doing this, anybody watching this, however good somebody is at doing this will probably determine if you're going to be profitable or not. Because if you get this wrong, if anybody gets this wrong, the trade is wrong, that equals losses of money. And then if we have too many losses of money, the trading account is bankrupt. No more funds. Then somebody cannot trade or invest anymore, and they start from zero again. Right? So it's extremely critical to understand price trend. One of the most important. One of the most important, right? And then I'm just saying, you know, most people, they get hyped up about Reddit and Twitter and social media, or like what their friends are saying, or what their friends are doing, or they open a chart like 6 months later, it already went up a lot, they have FOMO, and then that's not a real process, you know what I mean? Thank you, Bahas, for the follow. I appreciate that. Right? And again, I'm teaching basically like an educational level course right now. We went into an educational segment. So that's probably even more important what I just taught right now than any analysis I could give, because I'm teaching people how to basically fish the market, how to trade the market, how to analyze assets with technical analysis, price trends. Not everybody knows how to do this, right? So if you're here, if you're watching this, if you're learning this, you're starting your advantage, your edge over other people in the world. Okay, we have a question. It says, somebody asked, if I'm at a beginner level, what percentage should I achieve to be considered on track? Do you mean like percentage profitability? So probably, so if somebody's starting out, I would recommend just paper trade. Like if you're a beginner, just paper trade. Do not even risk 1 penny or 1 cent or $1 in the market until you have some real practice under your belt. Like I would highly recommend that, because it doesn't take that much effort to paper trade. And then understanding the actual, like here, let's actually open it instead of just talking about it. Okay, so the simple answer to your question is, in general, 90 to 95% of day traders fail. So that the statistic is 90% of people in general in 90 days, so 3 months, will lose 90% of their account, basically making trading mistakes and losses, right? So making incremental improvements from that perspective, that starting point, understanding going in, step 1, step 2. If you just take anybody off the street to try to become a day trader, like 90% of them will fail. So just making probably 1% incremental or 5% incremental improvements over time is probably what you want to get for. And then if you really want, like what professionals do, is they get an Excel spreadsheet, or they get a like a trader tracking type of asset program or website, and then you have to type in and track every single trade that you do. You could do it in Excel, right? And if you're serious, that's the way to do it, because then you have real hard data that you can look at and be like, what's going on? If you just do it by feeling, it's not really tracking your progress well. I still do Excel myself, and when I practice, I would do Excel, and you could see exactly what went wrong, what's going on, and then writing note of what type of trade it was and what am I doing here, right? It takes that level of dedication, because I can guarantee there are professionals that have done that and are doing that to this day. So those are the people you're going up against. So for example, like a paper trading, let's just turn it on, right? You just click the paper trading here in trading views. Wonderful, beautiful. I love this practice, and it gives you an amazing $100,000 fake money account balance, which is usually the value for practice, right? There's some extra settings you can set up here in terms of the commission settings, which you could set up according to your broker. So let's just pretend it's like 0.5% or something, or I think it's like 0.25 or 0.5. Let's just say 0.5%. But for sake of right now, I'm just gonna do 0, because it's not the right time to paper trade. But let's just do it anyways, right? And I'm gonna end here in like 15 minutes. So this is where you want to spend a majority of your time if you're paper trading. The panel, the trading order panel, because this, as a trader, I start going into a different mindset. I start thinking about, okay, limit order. So market order, there's almost no real reason to do that, because that's just to me, I call that the FOMO order, right? Market orders are for emergencies, in my opinion. And then you got to figure out, are you going to go long, green, or are you going to go red, sell, short? So if you're a beginner, just go long. It's most likely green only. Okay, and then it forces you to think about where's your take profit and where's your stop loss. You need to use the long entry tool here on TradingView. This is not the right chart I want to use. I'm going to Kraken and make a clean chart, right? And keep in mind, it needs to be a USD, at least for in America. And then you can bring the, you can even practice investing here. You could do a practice portfolio for like a month. But you want to practice for like probably like a week or two, just to figure out like what's the worst thing that can possibly happen, or you want to see some bad beats. You want to see some bad scenarios happen to you. Basically, in paper trading, you want to feel pain, in my opinion. It's not about oh, making fake, $5 million in the paper trading account. Actually, I recommend people to be like, you need to experience loss. You need to experience fear. You need to experience negative emotions so you become stronger to it, right? And it's hard to replicate on paper trading because you have 100,000 fake dollars, right? It's not the same. If you had 100,000 real dollars and you lost, $10,000 in 5 minutes, that's a terrible feeling, right? Pro traders that's happened to people before. Right, so you can't really replicate that feeling on paper trading, but you can replicate the strategies and the practice. So I recommend that. So let's just say you pretend you're doing an investment practice, right? Just putting in the order. Just putting in the order is practice, right? The more times you do it, the better you are going to get at it. So let's pretend I'm a Bitcoin investor, and I just happen to randomly buy the price right now at $24,274 basically. So I'm going to do a limit order. How many Bitcoins do I actually want to buy? It's like a thought process you start going through. How many Bitcoins do I want to buy? So let's just go down this, okay? So you have sell order or buy order. So again, sell short or buy long, green. So for beginners, I would say just focus on long, buy green. And then you want to have a limit order, which means that you're going to buy, you want the exchange and the broker to execute the buy at your price that you want. Market order means it's going to just buy whatever the market random price is at the time. So you kind of don't want that because there's slippage, the price moves around. And in extreme day trading cases, if you market order something, it could be like 5 or 10% way off of your price and you get messed up like that. And you have automatic loss, basically. So limit order, you want to specify the exact price, but for sake of right now, I'll just do whatever the price is right now. And then units, like how many Bitcoins do you want to buy? So most people can't even buy 1 Bitcoin. So, but for sake of example, we're going to buy 1. Now, here's where the training takes place, is where, so if I'm going to buy right here at this yellow line, that's my buy order. I'm going to put in yellow. Thank you. Thank you for watching, following, appreciate it. I like to put a yellow just so I know, okay, that's the buy. Okay, where's my take profit? Okay, if I'm doing a 25% stop loss for an investment, I want to try to target at least 2 times that. So my take profit is going to be 36,335. I'm going to put that up here in the green line. So then you actually should type it. You click, you're going to put your take profit order. We're building a triple, it's called the OCO order. One cancels the other. So if I'm buying here, if the price gets up to the green line, my exchange broker should put a sell limit order here, and then it should sell for me when the price gets there, when it hits it, right? The opposite is true. If I put my stop loss here at $18,000 down here in a red, I'm putting a red line, right? If the price crashes, if I buy now and it crashes on me, it's going to put a stop loss market order and just sell automatically at whatever price at or below. So that's how you control your investment using a triple OCO. One cancels the other order. Many stockbroker exchanges have it. TradingView has it for paper trading. So this is the way I recommend for stock traders, swing traders, or investors to do it. You just have to like set your set it up properly, and then you don't have to like watch it every single 5 minutes. The green lines take profit, yes, up here. I'll let me write it down. So take profit order is up here, and my buy limit. So entry order, my limit buy, limit order buy is here on the yellow. These are just colors I like to use. And then my stop loss order sell order is down here on the red line down here. And these are very, very large percentages. Okay, this is I am not saying risk 25% of your total account. No. I'm just saying it's just like a general investment. Is because you'll hear in the market the news say that if you go 25% from where for the price, if you go 25% down, by definition that's a bear market. So that's why I do that, just because I know that 20 to 25% crashing on anything, especially on the index or major stocks or crypto, equals bear market. The news will say that. So that's why you hear on the news people are saying we're in a bull market, because we just went up 20%, which is, it's half true. But setting this up, okay, so now we're gonna get the stop loss order, and just wherever down here, the 18,025, which is very low, right? And your take profit order, you need to type it in 36,242, the price. I recommend just typing in the price. Hold on, I can't see the comment. I'll type some things to read it. Okay, so I'll answer your question in a minute. Let's see, thank you. So, right, and then time in force is, okay, how long do I want this order to stay? You basically, for practice, you want to create a good GTC, a good till canceled, or this one is called GTD, but good till canceled, meaning forever. If you just do a day order, it's going to last for 24 hours, and everything's going to erase. Same thing with week, lasts for 7 days or 30 days, month, and it erases. But you want a GTD, GTC, good till canceled. You want to be in control of that forever, and then and then you could cancel it easily. So I'm going to buy that now. Paper trade. Click the button. The order sent. If you open up the panel here, second. So the reason why I didn't buy yet is because the price of the Bitcoin is higher than where I put it. If you zoom in very, very closely, you can see I put the yellow line order, and then it went up. So you gotta, for sake of this, I'm just gonna edit it and just whatever the price is, I just want to buy right now for practice. So 2.4, 2.8, and this is like real life. Sometimes it goes up. You know what I mean? You want to check your take profit. Check this is basically this correct. Oh, it went up again. So this is like Bitcoin, right? Sometimes moves around. There you go. If you heard that noise, it went beep beep. And it bought. So now you have a position. You own paper trading 1 Bitcoin. Where'd you fill? Where'd you buy? $24,282 basically. Where our take profit green order is way up here, 36,000 rounding, and now stop loss 18,000. And then now you have a triple order set up. The limit sell order on the top, take profit order, the stop loss emergency sell order on the bottom, and then we just bought at the middle. And that's how you practice. We did an investment practice, right? So I do not use market order, because if you're a serious trader, for practice, you could use it, but then you don't want to, because you want to specify the exact number you want to buy, because this is not the only type you could do it. like this, right? Because if you trade a lot of stocks, if you day trade, market order can be very, very dangerous. Because 1 second before you click, it could go like that, and then you're buying at a terrible price, like it goes way up, and you would be then the whole order structure is not correct, right? Because right now we're doing a day order, so you're not going to see any moves. It's going to be basically the same. So you want to over time, if you have like a small account, if you're trading with like $1,000, you might not notice. But if you're trading with a lot of money, slippage is real. Meaning you want to buy at 24,267, and if you keep market ordering, you're just giving away money for free. You know what I mean? And it's just not really you're losing money for no reason, right? Limit orders are also good where you want to buy a limit order. Let's say I wanted to buy when it crashed down here, right? So you're like pre-ordering the asset way ahead of time. I could take this triple order structure and just move it down here. That's why limit orders are important. So I only use market orders if there's an emergency. And usually it's because let's pretend, let's say I'm trying to trade this particular section. Like let's say this is a day trade or something, right? Like a 5 minute. Is if my stop loss, let's say, is at the blue line, but then there's a gap down and it skips my stop loss, I am canceling my order, and this is a scenario where I might limit sell or market sell if it's just like running away from me, right? That sometimes you need to emergency sell. Or the opposite is true, is sometimes the price goes so high and your take profit order is not getting triggered, is then maybe I might market sell, like take profit, market sell up here, and it doesn't really matter in that case. But for entry orders, I would highly recommend limit orders, because then you're in control and you're not just letting it randomly enter. It would be almost like if you go to a grocery store or like a retail store, and then because limit order is like buying in real life. It's $29.99, and I'm gonna buy at $29.99 instead of just letting it, move around on you. Okay, we have some questions. Do I stream often? I stream once a week because I do my own trading and research for stocks and crypto throughout the week. But I usually stream on a Sunday evening, but today I decided to stream earlier. So at some time on a Sunday, USA time, usually at night, I stream, and it's unfortunate because like Europe is sleeping at that time, but that's usually my open time. Is there any scripts I recommend for beginners? I do not recommend script. I actually do not recommend scripts for beginners. I recommend if you just hopped in right now in the stream, I talked about manual price trend analysis, like I think it was like 20 minutes ago. I would highly recommend that, meaning just manually understanding price trends and movements. If you're talking about like algorithmic automatic crypto trading, I actually don't recommend that either, because you need to know, if you're going to do algorithmic trading, you need a strategy that works, or else you're probably going to lose. I'm just being totally honest, right? Because if somebody cannot manual trade and be profitable, then automatic trading would not work either, or scripts wouldn't work either. But if you're just saying if there's like a script, like a triple order script, like, okay, maybe that's okay. But, well, I can't see your comment. Pop out the chat. The arrows? Oh, I think this is just me drawing. This is just me drawing, with the paint tool. So there's a highlighter here. I'm just doing this. Oh, so maybe you thought it was like a script signal or something. Okay, they do have that on TradingView. I mean, if you really want it, it's in the community scripts. So somewhere in here, like type signal or something. Sometimes there's a lot of those, but I don't use those anymore. Okay, so just to quickly move along here, I'm not going to go too much longer. It's a really long stream today, but I'll do one more. Let me do one more request, and then we'll close up. Okay. Oh, KW, sorry, your question. So somebody asked me, is it safe to go in with 5 or 10% of my of someone's portfolio? Uh, the general recommendation for trading is this is very important. So the risk management part is for trading, only risk 1% capital on any single trade. That's the you'll see that a lot like on the internet and books for trading. 1% of total capital, like your account capital. So the example I always use is if somebody has a $10,000 like USD total account size, is what is 1% risk of the account? Somebody, we'll do it together. We use a calculator, right? You have $10,000, okay, times 1%. That's $100 risk. Especially for beginners, this might even be too much, right? And if you're an absolute beginner, just paper trade. Don't even risk real money. But if you're like, getting into intermediate level, advanced level, it's still 1% risk. If you're a day trader, most day traders, they don't really risk that much at all. If you're an investor, you're kind of forced to risk a lot more. That's what I'm saying. I'll do the Cardano. If you're a swing trader, it's like medium risk. So it depends on the type of trader you are. If you're like a scalper or sniper in the for day trading, then it's like 1% maximum risk, and then just time it well, or like do a good setup, right? If you're a swing trader, maybe you could do like 10% per trade, but still only 1% total risk, and you just calculate it. So how would I do this? The example would be like, oh, you can't see it. So the example would be something like account risk equals that. So then we would do something like, you could do $1,000 per position, and now you could have 10% stop loss. So that makes more sense. And then the 1% account risk is still $100. Does this make sense? This is extremely important. This part is critical, because if somebody does not have good risk management or money management, at some point somebody's going to lose a ton of money. Happens to everybody. I hear so many people who said, "Oh, I bought Dogecoin, and now not me, but now that trader's down negative 80%." Right? No, that can never happen. Right? Or somebody bought, I don't know, Netflix at the top, and then you crash down and you're down negative 60% on your account. It's like, no, that can never happen. Because that's why using the triple order, there should always be a stop loss for your trading. One of my mentors said, if me or you, any trader, does not have a stop loss in trading, then we are gambling, right? Because then if you have no stop loss on a trade, that means there's no risk management on a trade. No risk management on a trade equals at some point you're going to take a huge loss. Somebody might argue, oh, but then like, what if it's like a bull market and it's going up? You still need a stop loss in a bull market on the opening of the trade, in my opinion, at least. Right? So this is extremely important, risk management. Nobody really talks about it because everyone's excited about making money or trying to make money. But the professional, Jack Schwager, Market Wizards, said professionals think about risk first before they think about profit. So, calculating this, that's why I like swing trading, because you have time to think and investing. You have time to think. You have time to input the numbers on the calculator or your exchange, and you're not scrambling for speed like day trading, like buy, sell, sell, in 2 buttons. That's why I don't like day trading either, because unless you have it set up in your broker, there's less chance for risk management. You're just chasing on day trading, right? And if you're chasing too much without risk management, 90% of the time you might take a loss, right? Without proper strategies. So if you're an investor, though, it's different. Like, let's say you have $10,000, and you're trying to buy stocks for an investment using this risk management 25%, right? You could buy like 2 stocks or something, or you could make a smaller stop loss. You could buy like 5 stocks or 4 stocks and still have this general. So 1% account risk on a investment, that's too small, obviously. But if you're trading, day trading, 1%. If you're swing trading, maybe like 10% maximum per trade, but not per account, though, not per account. I hope that makes sense when you're starting out. And nobody likes to really think about this, because you're like, wait a second, that's too much, that's too little money. That's too little money. But then at the same time, is professionals, they teach it this way and they execute it this way, right? Because you're trying on a day trade, you're actually just trying to get minimum. You want to get 2 to 1 reward. This is a reward to risk, RR, reward to risk ratio. So what does a 2 to 1 actually physically look like? It looks like this little box. I don't know if I could grab it. Looks like this. It's very small, right? 1%, basically. It's hard to, can't really see it. So we have to zoom in a lot because I'm on a Bitcoin. But 1% here, 2%. That's the minimum day trading box, right? It could go away, sometimes like some stocks go like 6% a day, right? And it's fabulous. But I'm saying without risk management on the bottom, and without proper strategy and price trend analysis and buying at the right spot, I mean, trader could lose all their money very quickly. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And I'm not just talking to one person, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to anybody who's ever going to watch this, who's never heard of risk management or has never executed it in real time in the market. Extremely important. This might be one of the most important lessons like any trader could ever learn. Thanks for the follow, Camille. And I'm in. I think you said you followed here somewhere. Thank you. Right. So, oh no, you have to turn the volume up. Sometimes it mutes itself. I'm pretty sure my volume's on right now. My microphone's on right now. So it's extremely important, incredibly important. Practicing this will make you a way better trader than beginners. Way better trader than anybody could ever be. Because I can guarantee you, people who do not know risk management or technical analysis or any analysis method, they do not think about trading like this. If you discipline yourself like this, you reduce the risk of massive mistakes, and then you should never really have a negative 80% loss on an investment, or like a negative 50% loss on one trade, which happens without proper risk management. Because in crypto, I mean, you could get huge losses right away. Okay. So again, that's this like a day trading risk management. And then this is more like an investing risk management here. All right, let's do the Cardano. I don't want to forget about that one. I still see you there. Let's do Cardano. Now, everything we learned in the stream today, let's just implement it right now. We'll do Cardano and Bitcoin, and then we'll end. So, I'm using Kraken. This is not the full data, but it's enough for now. Now, on the day chart, what's going on? What's the price trend first? We went from up to sideways, and then we went down, and actually we were sideways again. So that's why people might be excited about Cardano, where you could go sideways. Because what can happen when you could go sideways? When you're in a downtrend, you might be able to rally again. So once we understand that, let's get our support and resistance levels up on the chart. Okay, now we see we're bouncing off the 0.88 Fibonacci support retrace. Beautiful. Now let's box it in even more. Trend line on resistance on the top. Trend line support on the bottom. Now we're really boxing this in. So we can see our immediate target is probably, if it's going to go bullish continuation, a 70 cents up here. And just like I think it was just some of the crypto I was talking about, it looks similar, is we're kind of in the relative resistance zone. So now we start thinking about multiple scenarios. Is okay, if Bitcoin and cryptos keep going up, we're likely to see a breakout, retest, and an uptrend continuation on Cardano and other altcoins. However, if Bitcoin, let's say 24,000, 25,000 is our relative resistance high, and then we're about to push back and we're about to pull back down, then this could be our temporary ceiling, about 62 cents, right? You could push up and pull back down. Where? To 50 cents, 42 cents, maybe even 33 cents in a really bad bear case scenario on the downside, right? There's a small baby trend line here, mini trend line here. And we just barely started to break out of that. Now, if we start with the weekly analysis, okay, we have a nice big investing double MACD histogram with an almost low RSI bounce with the support level. Is this going to be a weekly upside down head and shoulders? Would be wonderful, because that would be the reversal for Cardano. So as an investor, that setup still exists. On the day chart, you know, it's not quite super oversold. There was oversold levels because off of fear lows on May, June, July. But it's kind of in getting closer to the overbought range up here, and it's kind of looking like March, very similar. So if we have negative catalysts, we might top out somewhere maybe 70 cents if it's possible. Okay, if we're zooming a little bit more on our swing trading time frames, it's not quite at a support level yet, right? We had a support level here in the blue circle, support level. We might have this breakout support here about 55 cents. Zooming a little more, if you're getting to day trading, right? You could see that the trend went from uptrend to sideways. We had a double top here of 60 cents to the pullback, right? So our 200 EMA, the MACD histogram, you want to watch out for that, right? So it depends on your goals and for your time frame and such. If you're just like a scalper, your 5-minute, 15-minute, right? It's not even quite super oversold yet. We did have a little bounce while we were doing the stream, so it's okay. But again, the market hour right now, Australia market's going to open in a few hours, and then Asia's going to open, and then at nighttime, Europe's going to open, and then morning, USA is going to open. So this is what, if you're trying to day trade this is what you're trying to look for. Just low support levels, double bottom RSI or something, low RSI, and then try to make your entry there. So now even adding on the risk management, let's say if I randomly bought right now, we could use some ATR, try to calculate this, plan the trade, and then play your plan, right? 1900, if it moves 1900, is that right? Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah, it's only a 0.5% move. So on this day trading, it's really 1% is all you need stop loss, but then buying at the correct time to try to capture 2 to 4% in 24 hours. So if we're trying to capture 4%, I'll do 2% stop loss, right? And then it's all about the entry point. Is this a perfect entry? No, not really. Not really, because if I wanted a good entry, I want it to go as low as possible, and we're losing some liquidity in the day trading asset, right? Low, high, low, high, low. Okay, low, high, low, high, low. Okay, so it's starting to down cross. So you could see an attempted rally and then one more pushback down. So I would like to buy down here in maybe like 55 zone. So 56, 55 here. You might have to make multiple entries or multiple orders, whatever you're going to try to do, but manage the risk, right? Manage the risk. Because you could see here when we had this big pullback on August 13th, 5 p.m. my time, the risk management is there. People know, so disciplined traders know what they're doing, right? The 2 to 4 stop loss, you could see it at work visually. If I just place it on top of the middle right here, you could see the 2% stop loss. People mentally have that or physically have that, and then they're targeting 2, 4, 6, 8% using probably algorithm sell orders, right? Like this. And then the shorts are doing the same thing. Once you hit that lower high, that the robots and the shorts are saying, oh, sell, 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 and they're forcing it down. Okay. So just want to please keep everything that we said on stream, just try to execute it. And then if you have I would recommend, because this happens to people, if you have too many money losses, like too many losses in real life, just stop trading, stop day trading, and then paper trade. Figure out what went wrong and then try to keep paper trading, right? And again, this is an investment, so looks like Bitcoin started to pull back on short-term time frames. But just start paper trading. Because even for me, this negative $15 loss is fake. And here's a random example, right? The peak RSI, okay, so this is like, that could be a whole course in itself. I would recommend, if you have questions about what indicators are, I would recommend there's TradingView help articles. There's TradingView articles about what is the RSI. There's Google videos. TradingView has a YouTube channel as well. So if you want to learn about individual indicators, I would say there are many, many TradingView articles about it. So I would point you in that direction. Mostly on my live streams, I do live TA analysis. I just today, because it's Sunday, like middle of the day for me, I'm just doing more education on the second half. But typically, I don't give this much education on streams. I just do straight up technical analysis because that's where the money making setups are, right? So there's so much information. There's probably hundreds, maybe thousands of articles on TradingView that if it's a great place to start. TradingView articles, the help articles is wonderful. The help articles actually explain what the indicators are. So if you really want like a textbook type of definition, I would look at that. Because even I looked at it, right? Or you could do it on Google or YouTube, and people can tell you about that. So whoever asked for Cardano, that's the analysis. And the last one, Vlad, let's look at BTC. And then we'll sign off for today. Bitcoin, Kraken. I'm gonna look at Kraken. This guy's looking, Vlad's looking at 4 hour short. So we talked about this. So on the day, let's start with the day. The daily analysis is we're in a daily uptrend, right? Weekly uptrend, excuse me, I should say like this. We're in a daily downtrend, right? It's still downtrending on week chart and day chart, still downtrend. But on our hourly, 4 hour, 1 hour, it's uptrend for swing trading. It was. Right, and that's very obvious to see. You can see it just going up. And we do have this up cross here, the golden cross, the 5200 EMA golden cross. So we want to watch out for that. Okay, now you're talking about the 4 hour BTC short, which does make sense because we were starting to lose momentum right here, on the MACD histogram. And then we double topped essentially at 25,000 and we already pulled back. So it's already been shorted. So the problem with shorting now is you're in the middle of the channel, the triangle, the wedge, right? If you just jump in and short now, it's in the literal middle of the move. If you short now, it's likely it might try to bounce up on you. So here's a good example. This is kind of advanced for shorting, but where do you want to short? Thank you so much, Akram. I know it's probably getting late at night, or this stream's getting long. So thank you so much for the follow and for watching and for sticking around. See you on the next stream. Right? If you want to short this thing, is you want to sell high and then buy low. It's the opposite. If you're long, you want to buy low and sell high. Right? You want to buy low and sell high. So we'll do both examples. The short, it was correct to short up here on this false breakout, and then you shorted it down. But it's already been kind of shorted for like about a day. Now, if somebody's going to go long, probably somewhere down here, if they're really patient, or it could be anywhere in the low 23,000s or 24,000s, right? So just in general, though, this is the kind of mentality we want to get into. You want to buy low and sell high for long, like this down here. And then you want to sell high and buy low, meaning close it low for a short. But to me, if I'm very conservative with my strategy, it's in the middle for me. So I don't touch this in either direction until I see more evidence. 5 minute, right? Because it did hit this low and it bounced up, but then it's downtrending 5 minutes. So you could still short it if you want to, but just understand that it's already been shorted down like 2%. So some day traders are already done with the trade, right? If you use the box analogy, if you short here and it went down, you would close the trade now. You would stop the trade at this one trade. If you bought here and you went down 2.5%, you just close it. Or you put your stop loss right here and then let the market close it, right? Because is it relative high or low? It's kind of low now. So longs are probably going to sneak in and then try to bounce it up. So if you try to short it right now, just be careful. If you're going to short it as a day, invest it and hold it for like a long time, it's a different story, right? I'm just saying, if you just kind of like do it right now, what might happen? All right, so I answered a lot of questions today. I'm going to close out now. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. And if you learned something, if you like this stream, go and give me a follow on any of these platforms. We also have a Discord available. I'm a very stock-focused trader and analyst, but I do trade crypto. I do invest in crypto and stocks as well. And so anybody who wants to learn and join. I do stream on Sunday evenings on USA time, typically in the evening, but I'll try to stream at a different time, or maybe I'll try to do 2 streams a week. We'll just play it by ear and see how it goes. So I hope you have a good week. Thank you so much for joining in and for the follow and for recommending my channel. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.